Hello. On behalf of the interactive teaching team, I am demonstrating for you today how to use simulations at very low cost. This is something I do in my class. I teach firearm injuries because I'm a forensic pathologist, as you all know. So we don't have a lot of finance for our classes, so we have to make our models ourselves. So this is my idea of making models for students to demonstrate basic concepts and ideas that they usually do not understand when they are just simply reading them in the book. So, first of all, I want to demonstrate to students a concept, a basic concept called beveling. This is something we find very hard to discuss in the class, and students rarely understand this concept unless there is a model to show them. I want them to understand that any flat bone has an outer table, an inner table, and in between there is cancellous bone. I do not have a model for that, so what I did is that I got this sponge from on the sink. I got colored paper and I stuck it on the top and a different color on the back. And now I have what I call the model of a flat bone. Now, in my class, I want them to understand that the inlet of the firearm injury, if it happens in a flat bone, it creates something called internal beveling. For them to understand this concept, I have created this poker, and this poker demonstrates the pathway of the bullet. So if I have the inlet of the bullet, the inlet would go from the outer table all the way through the cancellous bone and out through the inner table, taking with it a part of bone from the inner table and a part of the cancellous bone, and leaving me with a defect in the inner table through which I can see the cancellous bone, and this is what I call internal beveling. So this is the concept. Why does this happen? It happens because there is lack of support on the internal table because it rests solely on the brain. So there is no support, and based on that, there is large defect that causes me to see the cancellous bone from the inside, and this is what I call internal beveling. So now that they've got this concept, I want to show them that there is something called internal beveling and something called external beveling, because the bullet is working its way through the brain and exiting from another bone, which is actually another flat bone. So what I do is I bring soap. This is soap from on the sink. And I use a poker to create a hole in the soap. I do this at home before the class, and another hole on the other side. And then I get a very thin knife and just cut all around this hole and color it with a pen or with a crayon. And what I get is this, a soap with two defects, one of which is larger and it actually shows a different color. This is to demonstrate cancellous bone. So if I look from the inside, I see red. Red here demonstrates cancellous bone. And so this is a flat bone with an inlet of a bullet causing internal beveling. I want to show them that there's another exit. I get the exact same soap with this defect on the outside, and I show them that this is the inlet, this is the exit. So on the inlet, I expect to see internal beveling. This is what they see. And on the exit, I expect to see external beveling, and this is what they see. So now students can handle these pieces of soap, and they can work with the poker and create the direction of firing and show me where they expect to see the internal beveling and where they expect to see the external beveling. I create many of these in the class, and I have many pokers. As you can see, these are the shish kebab things, and I get them to do this in the class themselves, and this makes me sure that they understand the difference between internal and external beveling. Another concept that they fail to understand just reading it through the book is tangential firing. What we teach the students is that tangential firing causes what we call a proximal tracking before the inlet of the bullet and distal tracking after the exit of the bullet. This is called tangential firing. They don't understand this, so again I got the soap. I created this piece of soap at home. It's a piece of soap where I created a hole here to represent the inlet of the bone, the inlet of the bullet, I mean, and another hole here to represent the exit. And as you can see, the poker goes all the way through. I did this using a screwdriver. And then again, with a very thin knife, I cut this part. I cut it through. I carved it. I carved it to indicate a tunnel. And I did the same on the exit to indicate another tunnel. And now students, all they have to do is indicate the direction of firing using this poker or the shish kebab thing. And they have the shish kebab or poker, this pole, go through this way. And I give this to students to indicate the direction of firing. Now they can understand that there is a proximal track here before the inlet of the bullet and another distal track here after, after the exit of the bullet. So it seems very easy, very manageable. It cost me almost nothing. And students have their models. We don't need models, we can make our own. Thank you.